Hey there, happy Friday. It's me, Curiosity Trader, doing a weekly recap for the YouTube channel. Hopefully you're having a great trading week. I just want to go over the past week and the week ahead, stocks to look for. But again, as I always say, all these are for educational only. Don't take nothing as stock advice, alright? Always do your own due diligence and always focus on your own setups, alright? What I'm about to go over is just how I trade and the stocks which I look for and my personality. I always will tell you this in every video lesson because I want you to understand, to learn from my processes, and to develop upon your own niche, okay? What I've learned from this craft took years and years and years of my development, alright? As I mentioned, always do your own due diligence. But before we begin, I just released a new series I'm doing on my YouTube page called Curiosity Talks. It's kind of different. So pretty much on this channel, or this series rather, I'm just gonna pretty much be talking about life. You know, it's gonna be unfiltered stuff and just me, whatever I want to talk about pretty much, and mostly on like personal development and becoming the best version of yourself. So it's just something that's been on my heart lately, and hopefully y'all enjoy this. I'm not sure, I'll probably do them whenever I feel necessary, but it's gonna be trading related, but not solely. It could be pretty much whatever, you know. But enough with that. So go check that one out. But other than that, let's dive right in. A lot of themes have been re-emerging this past week, and it's always your job as a trader to always keep track of theme plays. Because as a trader, as I always say, you want to follow the money, right? You want to follow where the money is going. And first and foremost, always remember that 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall, I can't remember my R's today, the overall market, okay? 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market. And I'm going to say one more time, okay? If this is your first time watching this video lesson, we've come a long way from COVID. And I want to tell you again, you know, during COVID times, let me turn this, it bothers me. During COVID times, like, this was free money, right? After this, the best money's made after a drawdown, and free money, now we're pretty much going. But you always have to be evolving, right? You always have to be evolving. And again, I've been trading since 2018. Now, again, I'm going to say this one more time. When I say trading, I don't mean like with money. I've been practicing my skill. I've traded throughout this time. I traded in 2020, 21, so pretty much life happens, right? But I'm back here. I've never taken a break off. I've always been immersed with the markets. But as a trader, you see different themes as you progress. You see different markets, right? And you understand that sometimes it's time to push size, sometimes it's not. And right now, right, I'm seeing a lot of good setups setting up, all right? Recently in the semiconductor names, everything's been going lately. Like, we're coming off this monster backside push, like on tickers like SNDK. That was a monster win. Back in early January, I pretty much nailed this. But everyone's been watching this one, and it had nice spacing. Again, you want to focus on linear stocks. That's one word I'm going to say over and over again: linearity. You want a stock that has gone pretty much not vertical, that's parabolic, but linear, right? Stocks move in stairs. They always have, and they always will, right? Stocks move in stairs. It's pretty much the same thing over and over again. The longer you do this, the longer you are in this business, you're going to understand something, that it's just human nature, never changes. It's the same stuff, just different tickers, different people. But pretty much all of these are bottoming very well. I'll go over some of the stocks I'm watching. Most of the semi names, like for instance, AMD had a nice range break today. Beautiful range break. Of course, ADL, it's probably a lighter one to trade, ETF. But AMD, basic premise, you know, the big linear setup, right, off the big base, sideways, right, and we're trying here, but you get a basic premise, right, and we'll go over some, but the ones I want to talk about recently is like these earnings winners have been going lately. And remember, I always define like earnings, the reaction to earnings, right? That's what you want to see here. And the best example I can give you is QMCO. This is a definition of an EP. 5-star galore. Again, always pay attention to volume on EPs. and always look at the long-term chart. Right? This has gone in the past. This is a former runner, and I mentioned to you numerous times, focus on stocks that have ran in the past because they can run again. It's like in its DNA. And the best indication, obviously the SEC says, right, the past performance is not indicative of future returns, but the past is all you have. Sometimes the best thing to do is to look at the past, to study for the future, right? And this has gone in the past. And I'm watching this one because here's one thing, okay? When a stock goes linear like this, it's showing strength. You want to buy an EP, the best EPs go straight up from entry, just as here, right? Of course, the longer this goes up, you want to trail some, right? You want to lock some in, ideally on the third day, but you trail it with the 10-day on the hourly. And the best example of ideally these are going to base, they're going to have a move, pull back, right? Then go again. And you don't want to buy it here. You want to wait for the sideways channel, the range to build accumulation. Then you buy right at it. You don't want to try to guess it. You want to buy right at the breaking point. And the best example I can give that was which one? IOVA today. IOVA was one today, and which was another one. Which one is going? Ring. RNG. Not Ring. Well, yeah, this is a perfect example. Ring. Okay, the big initial first EP, pull back, right? Pull back. This is what you're looking for right here. The pull back. You let it build a range, whether it be 1 day, 2 day, whatever. Then you buy it off the opening range highs, okay? And again, I want to emphasize something. Sometimes you may get stopped out. That is fine. You have to get back in. I always use low of day, or sometimes you don't want to buy more. We talked about this already. I don't buy a stock unless on a dip if the stock is above the average true range. And like for instance, I'll go over it again. I already went over this before in a previous video lesson, but I'll do it for you. The average true range is $3.26 on this stock, meaning that's the average it moves in the intraday range, $3.26, right? Today, this is a bad example, but today it's down on the day. So you could have bought it in day. You could have bought it today, but now is not the time to buy, right? I'm just using an example here. But like, point is, if you're buying on a stock that day, you don't want it to be greater than the average true range. If it is, you buy it on a dip, okay? But the opening range high play on this play, you want to get it on the dip. That's the initial goal. And I've seen this set up countless times. We can even go over to POTR. Same exact scenario. Gap up EP, pull back, right, and develop a range for 1 day, or 2 days rather. And you buy opening range highs. And this is still setting it very nicely. Look how it's ideally, you should still be in this. I would still be in this, but I didn't trade this. Obviously, they have ETFs as well, but this is making a beautiful range here. Lost my cursor. This is making a beautiful range right here. And ideally, same premise, opening range highs over 180. But ideally, most of them have been like stuffing lately. It's not going to be an exact science, right? It's not going to work all the time. Like Twilo was when I was watching for. It pretty much gapped down, and that's fine. Even like Blaze I'm watching, right? It's just still in development. These EPs, you have to watch it on a backlist. You're still on watch for the upcoming week. Look how it's basing. Most EPs, as I mentioned, they base. The best example I can give us is S-Fly, which is going S-Fly. Which this one's going already. Let me see. Oh, not S-Fly. S-Fly. This one, gap up, build a range, and continue, right? Slowly grind. Even PL from last year. Gap up twice. Gap up day here, continuation. Gap up here, basic continuation. Gap up, pull back, reclaim, 20 move average, reclaim, okay? It's the exact same shit. Obviously, you have to train your brain to think of these terms, right? But these are the EP ones I'm watching for next week. DFSS, this is going to be a potential liquidity trap. 5-star. It's basing really well. Positive revenue growth. I'm watching it because most of these can go again, and that's why I'm watching this particular over 350. Now again, when I say this, it's like hold up here. Sorry, my friend's texting me. But like I say, whenever I have price alerts, I'm not saying I'm going to buy it next week. I have an idea. As a trader, the best way to succeed is by preparation. You have to be prepared for the next day, okay? And this one I'm watching, I've seen a lot of these plays in my mind. They work, so we'll see, okay? Pretty much reminds me of XHND, which, not that one, it's a different one. which one is it? XHLD. Wait. Yeah, here we go. This one is another liquidity trap, same variation. As I mentioned, my definition of a liquidity trap may vary person to person, but pretty much it's just you have thin float. Number one is a main factor, and you can't really like determine if shorts are short or just people, but pretty much like whenever stock goes sideways, you have thin float and there's news on it and people get trapped, right? It leads to momentum burst. I'll call it that, a momentum burst rather. So I'm watching it. There's a high tight flag, basing really well. Over 620, you know, I can see this is doing something hilarious, funny. So I'm watching that one, right? But back to these earnings EPs, IOVA, 5-star. This is the basic premise. Remember this chart, study it, okay? Because you will see this stuff, okay? I promise you. Over the course of your trading career, you're going to see the exact same stuff. And sometimes it fails, right? But this is a good example. Right there. Right? And even right here. Even right here. Earnings, gap up, sideways action, right? An opening range high break. Right there. Opening range. Look what it did, right? And of course, always sell. These are not investments, okay? Unless you want to be like a position trader, but that's not what I'm trying to teach you. That's not what I do. That works, but that's not what I'm trying to show you. What I do. Another perfect example is SMCI. 5-star, 5-star. We went over this one. I'm watching this one for next week. AI, positive growth. Look left. Former runner. Okay, this is 5-star galore back in the past. And again, we're here setting it very well. And this is what I'm trying to show you here. You know, off the earnings, gap up, sideways action, and the same thing. Opening range break. And you always have to sell. So don't be a fool and back hold these stuff. Your job is to grow your account. Your job is to take the meat of the move, okay? But you don't want to sell too early now. But I'm watching this one. I did get long, and I pretty much sold some. But I'm watching it to re-add over this 41 level. It's basing really well. Ideally, it pulls back more. But we'll see. More sideways the better. I'm watching it. And we'll see how that goes. But I'm watching that one for sure. Other than that, those are really the only ones. Earnings I'm watching. Blaze I'm watching, of course, more continuation. Shop, nice one so far. But that's pretty much what I love to watch. You always watch earnings, check pre-market, see the revenue growth. You always want something that's growing. You don't want something that's random, right? Always want something that's growing. Other than that, XLHAD, arrow went over. Ideally more continuation on that one. And let me see other ones I'm really watching. That's really all I want to talk about. You know, that's really all. I'm filming this on a Friday. So I'm going to film it or drop it on a Sunday. So there's other stuff I'm watching, but I don't want to waste your time. Ideally, all these semi-names are going still. But it's pretty much what I look for. Stocks that make big moves in base. And the ones I'm watching off the lows, right, is like these recent quantum plays. These quantum plays have been running lately off that QMCO earning winner. So like RGTI, QBTS, I'm watching. They're basing really well, and they've ran in the past, so I'm watching them for a potential play as well. But other than that, it's really all, guys. Main watch for next week is these earnings winners, and of course, XHLD is one I'm watching for next week. But that's all. I hopefully have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see y'all next time.